Next up, Mayor Jessup.
Thank you, Vice President. I do have two proclamations tonight. The first one, each year the Moonlighters Exchange Club of Owatonna recognizes a member of the Owatonna Police Force for their service to the community, and this year Officer Alan Callahan has been chosen and will be recognized at a ceremony on Thursday, May 21st. So it's my pleasure to declare Thursday, May 21st, 2026 as Alan Callahan Day. And second one, recognizing that Owatonna has been a pollinator-friendly city since March 5th of 2019. I happily declare June 22nd through the 28th of 2026 to be Pollinator Week in the city of Owatonna. And that is it. Thank you, Vice President Box.
Thank you, Mayor Jessup. All right, we will now move on to consent agenda. That consists of council minutes, board minutes, licenses, permits, and other miscellaneous, including financial reports. And we do them all together, and we'll look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Motion by Dan, second. Second by Don. Any questions, comments? Brent?
Mr. Boss, I need to note my involvement in item 2.3.5, the spring and the summer event fairgrounds. Just making that note for the record.
All right, thank you. Any other comments or questions on consent agenda? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, thank you. We will now move on to action items. First of all, we have an ordinance, and we will go to Mr. Walbrad for this.
There have been no changes in the ordinance for there are no changes in the ordinance.
Okay, this has to do with the fee for having a loudspeaker or whatever.
Correct.
Yes, okay. So this is an ordinance, which we take a roll call vote for.
Councilmember Dotson?
Aye.
Burbank?
Aye.
Bulkey?
Aye.
Ham?
Aye.
Spendy?
Aye.
Rainey? Boss?
Aye.
You have 6-8.
All right, thank you. Second ordinance here, we have a reading of a proposed PUD request at 2250 Austin Road for Northland Farm Systems, and we will go to Mr. Kuschke for that.
The request in front of you is RZ-11 for a zone change from B2 to a PUD for Northland Farm Systems located at 2250 Austin Road. All right. The request in front of you this evening is for construction of a new building on the property that they'll be relocating some services. So since Northland moved into this property approximately 10 years ago, they've been expanding their business from since when they were located out on Old Highway 14. As part of this request filed by John Schulte, Jones, Howard, Smith on behalf of Northland, they're going to be constructing a new multi-use building in roughly this area right here. The primary use of the lot right now is outdoor farm sales equipment. The primary building on the site currently is used for repair shop, office space, parts, sales, different items. They're going to be relocating all of those services and maximizing their site to be able to do that. The property currently has two 9,000 square foot and one 4,800 square foot buildings that are used for storage and washing bays. Both of those two buildings, the accessory buildings to the north, were built through conditional use permits in 2014 and 2016 that were approved. In 2016, with that request, there were 6 temporary shipping containers located roughly in the middle of the property. Those containers will be removed with this project on the property, and we've talked with the property owner on that. As far as the new proposed building, they're proposing 10,000 square foot mixed use building number of different uses from office to showroom, storage purposes. It'll be constructed similar to the other existing buildings on the property, but it will have a number of windows along the east side and the second level as it moves forward. They'll have an 18-foot sidewall along with a 312 roof slope, and then the building will maintain that 30-foot setback that's required along Austin Road, as all of our commercial properties do. On the north side of the property, the access to access to the storage area in the building will be provided by two 16-foot overhead doors. The proposed property will still be about 7% covered by buildings, which is well under the 50% that code permits. As far as access and parking on the site, there's currently 12 parking stalls. They'll be adding roughly 25 new paved parking stalls. You can see the paved area around the new building as they develop that. And then in working with staff, the applicant is also proposing as a requirement of this that they'll be paving the access drive off of the north onto 22nd Street. Currently, everything is just an existing gravel surface that runs to the south. They use that for deliveries, some employee traffic coming through there. We're working on a phase plan with them to come into compliance with paving of that area, and then it'll wrap in either north or south of the repair shop building in the future, whichever they see as best fit for their business as they continue to move forward. Staff did meet with the applicant on Monday, May 11th to talk about these options as well as the other conditions on the property. Working through the landscaping plan, they currently have 25 trees, about 5 trees that need to be relocated along the east side of the existing building, as well as 2 potential large pine trees. Those are probably at about the end of their useful life, so they will just replant new trees in the areas around there in that triangle area and then along the street as proposed. There are a number of utilities that run in that ditch there from water, electric, gas that make planting closer between the building and Austin Road more difficult. So they'll probably just relocate those. The northern area of the property is currently used for staging. At one point in time, it might have been a storage area, but they use that for staging as it comes in. If they've got a trailer with something that comes in, they'll stage it there, move it into the repair shop or waiting while they're waiting for parts. None of it's long term. It's just a place to move stuff out of the way that they can continue to their operations and get to that piece of equipment as soon as they can. With that, staff has received no public comments on this. There were no comments at the Planning Commission, and staff and the Planning Commission are recommending approval of the PUD, of the rezoning to PUD for 2250 Austin Road with 8 conditions. 1, all storage containers must be removed for the property prior to CO issuance. 2, all future additions will require approval through a PUD amendment. 3, driveway access off 22nd Street Southeast shall be paved within 5 years of the effective date of the ordinance. 4, all items in the city engineer's memo shall be addressed. 5, any signage on the property that does not have an approved permit must be removed, including signage affixed to trailers. 6, all new signage must obtain sign permits. 7, if the applicant changes the use of any existing building, they need a change of occupancy permit prior to the final occupancy of the new building. And finally, junk vehicles, equipment, and parts shall be removed from property in a timely manner. I would like to note that there is nothing that's really considered junk on the property as it exists today. That's a very statutory definition, but does protect the city as well as the neighborhood in the future if they decide to start turning into other things. So with that, I know Kelly with Northland is here this evening. If there's any questions, certainly turn it over to council.
Thank you, Greg. Council questions? Dave?
I think I read, Greg, where they're gonna install a new LED sign. Does that ring a bell?
They're looking at signage options. As far as a new LED sign, that has not been talked about at this point.
Okay. You said folks back here from Northland?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys know anything about a sign, big sign going up yet? LED?
I mean, we have a sign already
Yeah,
that's existing should be on the map there.
but the trend is now to go to the LED and the message boards and everything else.
No, I mean, we've already got a sign
Okay.
on Highway 14 side, so.
Okay,
The only signage that probably would happen on the new building, but that, yeah, that would go through the permit process, I assume, so,
I couldn't remember how big they allow those signs.
right.
Yeah, with having 3 street frontages, they have some flexibility within their ordinance that they'd be able to do something if they so choose. You know, they try to work with their neighbors out there and they're fairly flexible, but, they do have the message board sign on Highway 14 that they use currently.
And you said they're actually in violation by having the shipping containers, but there haven't been complaints from neighbors out there that get them out of there.
More so because of the conditional use permit in 2016 that was granted required them to be removed.
Okay.
Mr. Boki?
Just a comment, thank you for choosing to expand it over time.
Anybody else? I would agree to that. Thank you for your work in town. It's excellent. This is an ordinance, so we will have to take a roll call vote on that.
Councilmember Dodson. Aye. Burbank.
Aye.
Oki.
Aye.
McCann.
Aye.
Svenby.
Aye.
Boss.
Aye.
We have 6 ayes.
All right, thank you. Our last item tonight is a resolution. It's 3.3.1 to accept proposals and award a contract for a wastewater treatment facility 2026 lift station improvement panel installation. I think we've done a whole bunch of these, so I'm guessing this is another one, but we'll go to Mr. Murphy.
Sure. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, that is correct. We just awarded a contract to the manufacturer about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and this is for the installation of those panels at our Bridge Street location out by our biosolids bunker off Bridge Street, our lift station at 24th Avenue and Northridge Lane. So those 3 lift stations is what we are asking for council's approval on for awarding this contract. The 2026 lift station improvement panel installation project was advertised and 2 bids were received. Kilmer Electric's bid represents the lowest offer received for the scope of work described in the contract documents, including all electrical and installation of the lift station panels, along with electrical service upgrades for all 3 of the lift stations I mentioned before. The bid total includes all costs to complete the work as specified and consistent with reasonable market pricing. Kilmer has performed work on additional lift stations and staff found their work to be satisfactory. Contracted cost for the panel installation will be $85,650. The project will be paid for using our sewer funds. That staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Sean. Questions? I have to ask the scorecard. Where are we at now?
I want to say this is either 7, 8, 9 or 8, 9, 10. And then 2 of our lift stations are not in need of being upgraded as we're going to be decommissioning them. And then it leaves us, I think, 4 more to go.
Good. Good progress.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Anything else? With that, we will look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Nate, second?
Second.
Second by Dan. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I have a question after this, right?
Oh, okay. All right, that is accepted then. Thank you. Go ahead, Brent.
Just thinking back to the ordinances that we just approved, I don't recall having a motion, and then we voted, but I don't recall having a motion to approve those ordinances.
Rachel, is that correct? Do we need a motion? Are you doing the?
Do we need a motion to approve the ordinances?
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, no, we did not get a motion to approve the ordinances.
Come on.
Don't tell Kevin.
Sorry about that. All right, then I guess we'll go back to 3.1.1. And that was the fees and charges in regards to noise-making equipment at the parks. And before we take a roll call vote, we'll look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Brent, second by?
I'll second that.
Second by Don. With that, we'll take another roll call vote.
Councilmember Dotson,
Aye.
Burbank,
Aye.
Bulkey, McCann,
Aye.
Spendy,
Aye.
Boss,
Aye.
just 6 days.
All right, then we will move on to 3.1.2, which is the first reading of the ordinance for the PUD request at 2250 Austin Road with Northland Farm Systems, and we will look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Dave, second by Dan. Any other questions there? And with that, we'll take a roll call vote.
Councilmember Dotson,
Aye.
Burbank,
Aye.
Bulkey,
Aye.
McCann,
Aye.
Spendy,
Aye.
Boss,
Aye.
you have 6.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Brent, for bringing that back to our attention. And with that, we will move on to our staff report. And we have Rachel Boss, our Human Resources Director, here tonight.
All right, I'll take my admin coordinator hat off. Need some practice in that one still. So, I think Jackson's pulling up my beautiful PowerPoint. So, good evening, all of you. HR has been very busy, but to keep it nice and short, so that we all like it, and some fun pictures, we'll just quickly go over 3 updates that we have here at the city. Do I need to click here? Okay, perfect. So including our seasonal hiring, kind of where we're at with that, some staff development, things that we've been working on, and then our Healthiest You program and where we are going with that. So throughout the summer, it's a very busy time here at the city, and we cannot do it without the help of a lot of many departments and our seasonal staff. So throughout the summer, we hire over 150 seasonals, and to just give you kind of an overview on what those all entail, we have 5 interns, 7 coordinators, 26 maintenance workers, including streets, parks, golf course, and government buildings. 41 guest services in the water park, Lake Colmeyer, Brook Tree, tennis and pickleball center, and social commons and our programs. 9 guest services leads, 6 head guards, 35 lifeguards, 13 water safety instructors, 4 program leads, and a weed and nuisance inspector. So we have a lot that takes the city to get going in the summer. I would like to also point out that a lot of these positions are held by seasonals that hold lifeguards, WSI, multiple positions throughout the city. With that, we also have a lot of staff development going on. We're working intentionally on stronger communication, improved teamwork, and more self-aware leaders and employees. So to help every department function more effectively and support better service delivery to our community, one big improvement that we had was our new NeoGov and Learn and Perform system. As you can see on the screens is some samples of what those look like. It's an all-in-one platform for training and performance management. Historically, these processes have been manual and inconsistent between departments and time-intensive for supervisors and HR. But this system has centralized everything from training assignments, progress tracking, evaluations, and development plans, making it more consistent, transparent, and efficient. It also has strengthened our compliance because we can easily document and see where these processes are at. So the city has been working intentionally on stronger communication, improved teamwork, and self-aware leaders and employees through these processes. Lastly, we have our new Healthiest You program that we launched in August of 2025. And through that program, so Healthiest You is a telehealth service that provides convenient access and virtual health care to employees and their dependents who are on our medical plan to connect with licensed physicians and mental health professionals 24/7 free of charge. And this Healthiest You program has been an excellent return on investment in just 5 months. So this is just data from August to December of 2025. The annual cost is approximately $13,000 that we invested in it for a year, and it's already seen an $18,897 net claim savings for the city, which has meant that the program has paid for itself already, and that was just within that 5 months. This also continues with savings for general medical visits, mental health support, dermatology consultants, and nutrition visits, as shown on the screen. We've also seen a average wait time for employees that use this program is just 8 to 12 minutes, which is a lot of time saving rather than going in to see a doctor, which also saves time visit from employees leaving from work and having to spend those times in waiting rooms. and as well as helps with our claims, bringing those down, because it also tracks the time that where else they would go if they did not use this service, including emergency room visits, urgent care, and primary care visits, into that cost savings. So overall, it's been a variable value for the city. And that's all I have today. Any questions?
Thank you, Rachel. Questions for Rachel?
I know you're talking about it tonight, but how is our paid time off stuff going?
The Minnesota paid leave.
Yes.
We definitely are seeing a little bit of effect of it. We definitely have more people out than usual. And it's definitely kind of hard with our lean work environments, trying to find staffing, especially in our public safety fields. But we're doing our best to really push employees on cross-training and working on succession planning and making sure that we have employees to fill in if someone does need to step out, and what our backup plans are, so we're prepared and not, we're being proactive, not reactive, but we are seeing an effect of it.
How about when you talk to your peers over a cup of coffee in other cities? Do they say it's going good, it's going poor?
Everyone's seeing a big hard effect on it. Each month I have monthly meetings with local HR professionals, and it's a topic that everyone always wants to bring up, and it's very hard on a lot of companies with seeing a lot of employees go out a lot more than usual, but it has also been a benefit for employees as they're able to take the time that they need. With it kind of picking up a little bit more, having a private vendor has been very, very helpful for us. We started off the year with about 5-week turnaround for employees receiving payments for those claims, and then by now we're getting about a week turnaround by the time they get all that approved paperwork, whereas the state plans are still having a lot of backlog. So those, about, I think 80% of employers did go with that state plan, and they're feeling a lot of headaches from that. So at least we're on that good side of it. And we did get a better rate than the state plan as well, just a reminder.
Just one more comment for our constituents. It's, when we're running so lean like we are, this paid leave thing, for instance, at the fire hall, we've got 8 full-time firefighters, and I believe 2 of them are gonna overlap for a little bit, for a week or 2, with some paid leave coming up. So all of a sudden, rather than 8, we're down to 6. Our police officers are continually thin, and you know, earlier you maybe saw us looking for some help in different departments, and part of it goes back to this paid time off stuff, is that we just can't run that thin if people have the opportunity now, and rightly so, to take this time off. I mean, if Greg would go down, we got down, but after that, you know, I mean, we're pretty thin. We're down 2 firefighters, not altogether, but you know, when we ask for more help, that's part of it goes back to this.
Dave?
I think the state, when they implemented this, put kind of a trial for the year, and obviously there's been a lot of repercussions, pushback and everything else. Who knows what the ending dollar figure is going to be. Too bad Representative Sexton had to leave, or he'd have been a good guy to pound this info into him so he can take it back to St. Paul, you know, and let them know our opinion down here in southern Minnesota.
Yep, and I have my ways on sharing our information as well as our opinion on it.
Who has?
We are also sharing our opinion on it
Okay,
with them.
thank you.
Anything else for Rachel? Thank you. Very well done.
Thank you.
All right, this brings us to our public comment time. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Approach the microphone, sign in, state your name and address for the record, being acknowledged by me. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes to deliver their comments. Those speaking are asked to conduct themselves in a respectful manner as they deliver their comments. Audience members are asked to refrain from reacting to comments. The City Council will not respond directly to comments in this venue or take immediate action in response to them. With that being said, the microphone is open.
City Council, good meeting, Mayor. I just want to take a moment.
Sarah?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah Sanchez, Owatonna resident. I guess I'm out of sync here. I need to come back to the platform again. But I just wanted to take a moment, not really to necessarily address the council per se. Actually just want to, hopefully, I know this is being recorded, this is going to be shared out, people hopefully are going to be watching it. I want to encourage our public today. We are having, across the country, there's some primaries going on. We get to sit and have, I think, an honor to have meetings such as this. We're afforded this by our Constitution, by our forefathers who did a lot of work to get to this point. I want to encourage our public and thank those who did show up. But today we had a city or an open, what was it called? Open public hearing for $1.6 million in street reconstruction, which does need to happen. I understand that, and I have no qualms about that. But we hear over and over how things should be run differently. Things should be done differently. Things are too expensive. But no one's doing anything about it. We had a public hearing. Ideas could have been heard. Voices matter. We need to be using them and expressing so we can have a conversation. Again, any kind of window should be two ways. So I encourage our public to come out here and share ideas, share opinions, make our opinions known. So later on, when they see the 5-year budget and they see a 5-year total and they say, what the heck? Well, you have say. I've heard over and over that our city councilmen aren't getting called, they're not getting emailed. You know, I think we have the opportunity and we're not taking it. And I think it's a missed opportunity is all in. Like I said, it's not really against you guys. I think we should be working more with you guys instead of complaining later on. So that's just my 2 cents, and I'm hoping that the public who will watch this will engage a little more. So thank you everyone for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Just in time. Anybody else?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carl Wayman. I live in Owatonna, just across the hill. I'd like to start off by saying that we had that library discussion a week or so ago, and that went great. It was one of the times where I got to talk to several people that rather get up here, boy, nobody will answer a question or even look at you sometimes. So I think that was great open discussion that we had there. But moving on from that, with the proposal for the police and fire station, not that anybody's against it, it's the price and the location. That's the thing we gotta keep in mind. I heard that so many times as we collected signatures. You know, people said they wanted it, but not at that price or location. Too historic to have it at West Hills. So that's something to think about. And, you know, we collected over 2,700 signatures and only needed 721. So you can see that was quite outstanding. If you're gonna put it up for a vote in November, it's just gonna be the same way. Nobody's gonna vote for it. So at this point, I'm recommending, don't kick the plan, not can, the plan down the road, because that's basically what you're doing by doing it for an election, because it won't happen again. Spending that kind of money for that and everything. This past month, another business in Owatonna shut down one of their divisions and moved it to Ohio. Said the taxes are getting too high. And they said, we aren't laying off people, but they have the opportunity to move to Ohio, or they would be laid off. So that's one way to get around it. And one person did take him up on that, because he wasn't originally from here. I don't know if anybody else did, but that's what I heard about. Also, we talk about the roof on the police station. Personally, I've not been in there to see it, so I don't know how bad it is, but I gotta think about it. If my roof leaked on my house, I would get it fixed right away. Why this didn't happen, I don't know. Right down the street from us, not too far from here, Truth Hardware, Quanix, Amesbury as it was called. I've seen their roof, people work on it all the time in Sydney. So I asked somebody that's worked there for 30 years. He says every 3 to 5 years we gotta repair the roof because the land keeps shifting. And that's normal sometimes. I don't see them tearing down the building because it was doing that. So.
Thank you, Carl.
Sorry.
Thank you. Oh, one last thing.
Oh, no.
Yes, we could have had, you heard of the Cherry Blossom Festival out in Washington? We could have had the Apple Blossom Festival last week. There's over a dozen trees out here that were blooming.
Melissa Zimmerman, 2525 Stone Creek Drive. Just to piggyback off of both of those, I was also at that May 9th meeting and greatly appreciated talking to those that were there. I was told that we would see more town halls happening, more communication, more public input. But it looks like, according to the paper, we're moving forward with a new plan, or potentially moving forward with a new plan. Based on today's financial management plan, it looks like we're going to split it into 2 projects over 2 years. I just have one question. Where was the public input? When can we expect those town halls? Are they going to happen? I hear decisions are supposed to be made next month. When can we expect to have our input? Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Anybody else in the audience want to address the council tonight?
Everybody, Brad Meyer, Owatonna Chamber of Commerce and resident here. Just wanted to say to paid medical family, Dan, thanks for bringing that up. Big challenge for all our businesses. Workforce is a huge issue and will continue to be. So thanks for kind of bringing that up. I think that's important. I also wanted to mention, since Greg Kruschke's here tonight, Developer of the Year in the state of Minnesota at the recent Real Estate Journal Awards. I know he's thrilled that I did that tonight. And I want to make sure you knew that. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. All right, anybody else? All right, thank you, everyone. We can now move on to council comments, and I guess we'll just go down the row. We'll start with Brent.
All right, a couple things this evening. It's actually May 17th through May 23rd is National Public Works Week. It's an annual thing that recognizes the essential role that public works professionals play in maintaining and improving community infrastructure. So I just want to point that out. Secondly, a couple meetings ago, we did not renew that parking lease downtown. I think we all received emails, phone calls about some people that were concerned about the loss of parking. I have been monitoring the city-owned lot across the alley that has the 13 spaces on the west that are 24-hour parking, and there's 13 spaces on the east that are reserved for fire departments. Based on the observations I've been getting, that typically that east side that's reserved for the fire department typically has 3 to 5 vehicles there a day, So there's open parking spaces there, at least 8 spaces a day that are not being occupied. And typically the west side of the lot is full with cars, so I would like to see us look at residing that the east side of that parking lot to having like 5 parking spaces reserved for the fire department, and opening up the other 8 spaces for public employee. And my reasoning for that is that we also have signage on Elm Street that's restricted for fire parking only. So if there's a need for parking spaces, firefighters can always park on Elm Street, so.
I believe that's getting looked at the moment, Jen, is that correct?
Yeah, I've been in conversation with the fire department to understand how many spots they need and what equipment is there, and so, we're looking at it to try to minimize the impact.
Yep, yeah, typically right now it's like 1 fire pickup truck there and probably 4 vehicles that are sweepers that are parking in that spot.
Some of our staff is probably parking in the other lot too, so we wanted to kind of see how it all.
I think there's room for at least 80 that can go back up for public parking, because that west side is full.
Well, hopefully we can figure that out quickly.
We will.
All right, thank you. Anything else, Brent?
That's it.
Okay. Nate, can you tell us about your airplane trip? No, don't.
Sunday night was a rough night to fly back from Florida. As Ms. Sanchez noted, today is a primary day for a lot of people. And I would just like to express my sadness that the person I consider to be probably the best congressperson we have in Congress in Kentucky lost his endorsement. So that is a big loss, I think, for the country, unfortunately. So you can figure out who that is if you look at the Kentucky race.
Dave.
2 people I'd like to recognize. The first one is Eric Anderson, our Park and Rec Director. He was able to sit down with a pickleball group, and they are now a part of the club out there and going to be bringing in revenue. That's a good thing. And I won't be able to attend the dinner for Officer Callahan, but what better name for a cop than Callahan? For those of you that remember Dirty Harry. Good for him.
Thank you, Dave. Dan?
No further comments.
Don?
I want to piggyback on what Dave said. I had the opportunity to ride with Officer Callahan. And I asked him that question. I said, does anybody call you Dirty Harry? He said no. But he is a great person. I think it's a great choice. And I also will not be able to attend the in Washington, D.C.
Mayor Jessup.
I will be able to attend, and I will go. One of the really cool first things that I got to do last year after coming into the mayor's chair was to go to this Police Officer of the Year Awards banquet, and it was an honor, and it was such a cool thing to be able to do. So to be able to do this proclamation here tonight for Officer Callahan, declaring Thursday the 21st, Alan Callahan Day, and to be able to go to that banquet that evening, it was a real honor and a pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to it. Congratulating Officer Callahan in person.
Thank you, sir. City Administrator Tuma.
Yeah, I have a couple of items here. Just a reminder that Monday is a holiday and the offices will be closed. And thank you to all those that provided service on our Memorial Day to remember those. Also, another thing that we are starting is just to improve engagement is we're doing, do we call it the Mayor Minute?
I think that's what we decided.
Yeah, and where the mayor will give an update after every council meeting on what we cover, the highlights of these meetings. He's going to go upstairs and do a quick recording, push it out so we can try to keep people engaged on what we're covering, the topics. And the other thing, I turn it over to Greg Kruschke just to give us an update on the downtown streetscape project work.
Yeah, thank you, Jenna. Just an update to everybody. So we have been working over the past few years on resolving the limestone issue on the Cedar Avenue project. As everybody's aware, that's deteriorating. We've been working through that process. As of earlier this week, it appears that swap out process is actually going to start next week on Tuesday. So what they'll be doing is removing the old limestone, and then coming back and installing that, black granite, throughout the downtown area to replace that per our settlement agreement. You'll see, they're gonna start on the north end, do one side of the street, and then, move over to the other side of the street, and then move to another block, is the process going through. It's still, very fluid in details, but wanted to let everybody know that that's the plan, moving forward here, and this should start to see some action on that hopefully next week.
Well, that's great news, thank you. We're excited for that. I guess the last thing I would add is put on your calendars, July 11th is the wastewater treatment facility ribbon cutting. There probably are very few opportunities to ever get inside there. So if you ever want to see what it is, it's pretty spectacular. So if that's your chance to see it, that's good to go to. With that, I will look for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion by Dan, second. Second by Nate. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are done. Thank you.
With the what you're talking about, as far as moving stuff around. No, what's